It was a magical sound, like nothing I'd ever heard. Across the circle, the elves moved apart, and Santa Claus appeared. The elves cheered wildly. Can you cheer for Santa Claus? He marched over to us and pointing to me said, "Let's have this fellow here." He jumped into his sleigh. The conductor handed me up. I sat on Santa's knee and he asked, "Now, what would you like for Christmas?"
A Spider-Man paint.
Sam said, mm-hmm.
I knew that I could have any gift I could imagine, but the thing I wanted most for Christmas was not inside Santa's giant bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, Santa smiled, then he gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from a reindeer's harness. I tossed it up to Santa. He stood holding the bell high above him and called out, "The first gift of Christmas!"
Ring bells, ring bells.
Ring a bell.
What's the first gift?
The elves go wild.
The elves go wild. Elves go wild. He's remembering the movie.
Struck midnight as the elves roared their approval. Santa handed the bell to me, and I put it in my bathrobe pocket. The conductor helped me down to the sleigh. Santa shouted out the reindeers' names and cracked his whip. His team charged forward and climbed into the air. Santa circled once above us, then disappeared into the cold, dark, polar sky. As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, the other children asked to see the bell. Ring the bell! I reached into my pocket, but the only thing I felt was a hole. I'd lost the silver bell from Santa Claus's sleigh. "Let's hurry outside and look for it," one of the children said. But the train gave a sudden lurch and we started moving. We were on our way home. Back on the train, on the way home. It broke my heart to lose the bell. When the train reached my house, I sadly left the other children. I stood at my doorway and waved goodbye. The conductor said something from the moving train, but I couldn't hear him. "What?" I yelled out. He cupped his hands around his mouth. "Merry Christmas!" he shouted. The Polar Express let out a loud blast from its whistle and sped away. On Christmas morning, my little sister Sarah and I opened our presents. When it looked as if everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found one last small box behind the tree. It had my name on it. Inside was the silver bell! And there was a note. "Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket. Signed, Mr. C." Santa. I shook the bell.
Shook the bell, shook the bell, shook the bell.
It made the most beautiful sound my sister and I had ever heard. But my mother said, "Oh, that's too bad." "Yes," said my father, "it's broken." When I'd shaken the bell, my parents had not heard a sound.
Bell, bell, bell. Bell, shake the bell, bell. He said bell.
Everybody hear the bell?
At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Even Sarah found one Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, The bell still rings for me as it does for all who truly believe.